Hello and welcome back. This episode I simply call Judgment. And I'm going to begin with a question on this episode as well. And the question is, why do we care so much about what others think of us? Now, as I go into this episode, the feeling I'm having is I'm going to slow my cadence down just a little bit so you can speed up the podcast if you want to, but I would urge you to not, because I'm doing it this way to hopefully bypass your ego and speak directly to your soul. Hopefully that wasn't scary for you. And in creating context for this conversation, I've shared in the past something I call the Judgment Triple Whammy. Okay, and so we human beings, we experience the Judgment Triple Whammy, which is 3 forms of judgment in our life. And so the first form is where we judge others. The second form is where we judge ourselves. And the third form is where we worry about the judgment of others. So the third form is where others judge us. And then just a quick side note on that, it's all ego. All judgment, it's all ego. Hold that thought. The focus on today's podcast episode conversation is all about number 3, others judging us. As we're focusing on number 3, you might want to think about keep in the background numbers 1 and 2. Again, the judgment of ourselves and us judging others as maybe the root of why we care so much about what others think of us or others judging us, because it's always a mirror. So just kind of keep that in the background. That's a very heavy thought. Hopefully it made sense. But we're going to focus again on number 3, others judging us. So where this is coming up and how this is coming up, it's come up many times throughout my entire life. But where this came to the surface was in a recent Shine meeting. And so again, if you're not aware of what a Shine meeting is, it's for people that have read Shine. 6 to 12 people get together and just talk about the content of Shine. And I hold a Shine meeting every month. That meeting is closed, but we have other people doing Shine meetings. And so if you have interest in either attending a Shine meeting or starting your own, just reach out to us at info@the10disciplines.com and let us know, and we'll take it from there. But back to the Shine meeting. And so what was interesting about this meeting is this judgment number 3, others judging us, came up all throughout the meeting. It just kept coming up over and over and over. And each time a participant would talk about something they wanted to accomplish, it kept coming up. And so examples were, there was one particular person who was planning on starting a new business, successful entrepreneur, sold the previous business, was starting a new business, and this came up for them, kind of the reaction of certain people in their lives and the judgment of that. Another example was somebody who was making a major change to their business that was going to shake some people up, and they were deeply concerned about that judgment of others. And then another example was someone who was going to make some major changes in the balance of their life, and they were deeply concerned about their employees' reaction. Again, judgment of others. And so it just kept coming up over and over and over. And then we would kind of drill down on that judgment. And there were so many breakthroughs that day, people just really seeing the barrier and letting that go and feeling much more confident, clear about the future and pursuing that thing that they wanted. And I'm trying to keep it as vague and contextual as possible so that you can apply yourself to this, because most of us experience this. And so the idea here is to pay attention if the judgment of others is holding you back. Think about right now. So I'm going to get you thinking. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to take you through a thought process, but please think about the number one thing you want to accomplish, the number one thing you want to become, the number one thing that you want in your life right now. And as you're thinking about that thing, and if you need to pause to come up with it, I really need you to have it in your mind, hold it in your mind, ideally write it down if you're not driving. I want you to see it in your mind. I want you to feel it in your bones. I want you to assume there are no barriers, no financial restrictions, that whatever that thing is, it is 100% possible and doable, and it will absolutely happen. So please take yourself there. And so my question to you is, what comes up in that place? Are there any people holding on to you? Are there any people judging you? Do you notice any fear from others in your life having accomplished that thing? Could be your parents, could be your friends, could be other family members, could be coworkers, could be neighbors, clients, employees. It could be your following, whatever that means. And they're thinking, what happened to Joe? What happened to Sue? And in this place, do you think you'd have their full support? Would they judge you? And is that holding you back in any way? And in this place, I want to share with you one of my favorite quotes, and that is, we want to be unconditionally loved for who we really are. And so in this place, I'd love you to think of 3 names, 3 people that might be coming up for you, that might be judging you for working toward this thing, for achieving this thing that you're seeing. Just jot down 3 names. In worst case, if you only come up with 1, that's perfectly fine. Ideally, you come up with none, but I don't know if that's possible. And so write those names down. And that might lead to a conversation that you need to have. But more importantly, here's what I want you to do. We're going to flip this on you right now. Those names you wrote down, are you judging them? In any way, are you judging them? Do you truly love them unconditionally for who they really are? And if you don't, and if in any way you're judging them, that might be the root of why you're feeling the judgment from them. Something to think about. And just spend a minute on that to see if there's a potential insight. Now, to flip it back to where we are, this thing you want, and the potential judgment of others that might be holding you back, I want to close with this. You are meant to shine. Your soul wants to be free. Let your freak flag fly. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. And don't let anyone stop you. And for what it's worth, I'm saying this for you as much as I'm saying it for me. Thank you for listening in today. We truly appreciate you taking the time to spend with us, and please tune in for the next episode. Until then, we wish you all the best in freeing your true self. Stay focused, and much love.